Okay, I was not expecting that. Thank you. Well, thank you. I'm overwhelmed, Heather. That was just a generous, wonderful introduction, and I am humbled, absolutely humbled, to have a role in an awards program that honors a woman who I believe is a truly remarkable leader, Ursula von der Leyen, the President of the European Union. And let me add my welcome to His Excellency Stavropol Lambrinidis. Did I get it pretty close? All right. I am also deeply honored to really stand behind an illustrious company of previous award winners, many of whom are mentors and friends. Including the late Andy McKenna, Greg Brown, Lester Crown, Sam Scott, Penny Pritzker, Rick Waddell, and my predecessor at UL Solutions, Keith Williams. I also want to acknowledge the powerful influence that Ivo has had on this organization. I mean, let's just think about it. Ivo's insights across every media channel. He's on social media. He writes op-eds, books, podcasts, television. And then he established the Pritzker Forum on Global Cities and the Lester Crown Center on U.S. Foreign Policy. And then he celebrated our centennial anniversary a year ago with President Barack Obama. And these are just a smidgen of his many contributions to this great institution. He has been transformational to the Council, and he continues to build the strength of our future, as demonstrated by promoting Sarah Gilbert as President and Chief Content Officer. So Sarah, congratulations at your first GLAAD Awards dinner. Ivo, thank you for your 3 words. Thank you for all that you do. And Elisa, here as well, thank you for your tremendous friendship to me and Pete. The 4 of us have a good time together. I believe the Council is facing a once-in-a-generation transformational moment. And I want to start with technology. Technology underpins our society, and as president of UL Solutions, I'm fortunate to have what I call my favorite job ever, because we use technology along with math, science, and engineering, and we use it in a positive, reinforcing manner to solve many of today's problems around safety, security, and sustainability. And as Heather mentioned, at UL Solutions, our 15,000 employees work for a safer world, and we celebrate science. We work with data, we establish evidence that leads to the creation of standards, and we measure real outcomes. And by the way, we do this by lighting products on fire, by blowing things up, and we perform inherently unsafe acts that must be performed to test product safety. And it is really fun. And it's really fulfilling. And the Underwriters Laboratories enterprise has its grounding in science almost 130 years ago. And it was initiated by the need to apply safety science to the new technology of the day. And in that day, it was electricity. That electricity was introduced to the world here in Chicago at the Columbian Exposition in 1894. 27 million people traveled to Chicago, and they enjoyed this dazzling display of 100,000 light bulbs illuminating the fairground and gleaming along the lake. And what was on display in Chicago then had never been seen before. The world was in the midst of a tremendous transformation. And I believe today we face a similar inflection point, and remaining relevant in light of the technological changes as well as the social changes that we are facing is the critical risk that the Council must mitigate. Now, I have total confidence that we will rise to this occasion, but there is work to do. Now, scientists revere the words of Sir Francis Bacon. He says, "A prudent question is one half of wisdom." Now, those of you who spend time with me know I ask a lot of questions. And questions provide unique frameworks for thinking, and they can open unexpected revelations. Questions are critical here at the Council. Now, I'm excited about the new ways that our strategy, which is labeled Blue Marble, will pose questions to new and different audiences. Blue Marble will transform the way the next generation sees the world by presenting facts, research, and insights in a modern forum. Think about sound bites and videos, meeting people where they're getting their news. But Blue Marble, as technology, it must augment, but cannot replace our rightful role as individuals communicating the world's most important global affairs concepts. I mean, think about it. We all agree. Can Evo be replaced by AI? I don't think so. And don't get me wrong, Blue Marble and our technological strategy is not seeking to replace Evo, but it is seeking to bring in new and different audiences, engaging them in constructive dialogues about the most important challenges facing humanity, those challenges that Evo mentioned. Blue Marble will reinforce the Council's role as the center of important dialogue. And important dialogue is necessary because the world is a mess. Now, Penny Pritzker, in a very different context, once said to me, "Jenny, embrace the mess." We, here at the Council, have to embrace the mess. The wars, the shifting geopolitical ecosystems, climate change, the fomenting of extreme ideas. We've all felt it. I think we've all can think of an uncomfortable dinner that we've been at with friends or family or colleagues, discussing one of these topics. And think about it. At that time, did you wish that you had a better way to describe the nuances of these types of issues? Did you feel backed into a corner without an avenue to bridge differences? Did you feel unfulfilled because you really didn't have the right tools at your disposal to bring about some type of consensus? Now is the time. This is the Council's opportunity. We play an important role in providing those nuances, those facts, those tools. And the Council must serve as a beacon for establishing the right way to combat the dangers presented by uninformed bullies, or even worse, a disinterested populace. This is our opportunity, and I have never been more excited to be part of the Council. Now, I want to conclude with one of the words that is in the Council's title, Chicago, our vibrant, relevant global city. We are the Chicago Council on Global Affairs, and Chicago continues to be the engine of innovation that it was during the World's Fair in 1894. We have a network of top-tier research universities, national energy laboratories, transportation hubs, global technology companies, startups, agribusinesses, and yes, 100-plus-year-old companies in traditional industries. And yes, Chicago has a few problems, but we are a desirable place to live. We house world-class cultural institutions. We enjoy the incredible physical beauty of Lake Michigan. That happens to contain, by the way, in the face of climate change, 1/5 of the world's fresh water. We ranked number 2 this year as the city most college graduates chose to live. And we are leading the world in funding entrepreneurs who are female and people of color through the efforts of P33. And yes, Chicago has challenges. I believe these challenges can be solved, and I believe the future of America will be determined by the success of our global cities. And I refuse to join the mob of naysayers who flee, who criticize and tear down from afar. I prefer to stay and build and support the institutions committed to building institutions like this cherished Chicago Council on Global Affairs. So let me close by expressing my optimism for the future of Chicago and for the future of the Chicago Council on Global Affairs. We are all at our best when we have the opportunity to ask tough questions, to facilitate effective dialogue, and to develop solutions together. And as I look around this room, there are so many friends and colleagues here with us. I see talent, I see dedication, I see generosity. And because of you all, I have no doubt in believing that the best is yet to come for this great institution. Thank you.